that was, again, on this device. Key number 8. That key is now lit, and if I press that key, okay. Actually, let me press this other one. Enter the voicemail box received today at 9:46 a.m. Emergency call made from number 100. Okay, so you've got an announcement that can be assigned to many phones, and it tells you that an emergency call was made. It tells me the extension number that made that call. Okay, so now you can know exactly which extension it was and where to direct those emergency services. All right, let's look at a situation where you have an alert system for a school lockdown. So this is obviously a panic situation, a shooter in the building or something like that. We've heard all the stories and seen them out there, and it's they need to have some alert system out there that's going to notify everybody, put the school in a lockdown type situation. Obviously it's fortunate that we have to have these things, but let's just show you what you can do. All right, so I've got an extension configured for a lockdown alert. This is extension 500, and I'm going to go to the user settings. Okay, so if I click on the user settings, this is the little user icon. And in here, I'm going to go to the caller ID based services. Okay, and you'll see in caller ID based services, you'll see all the features that can be active on this extension. Well, you've got call forwarding, mini extension ringing, all the basic features. Well, one of these is called dial and announce. So if I click on this dial and announce option, all right, so with the dial and announce option, whenever you dial to this extension 500, place a call to it, it's going to place outbound calls to extensions, phones, external numbers. Let's see some of the options that you have here. Okay, so if I do, let's add a new entry for example, extension 100. So you can make when you dial this extension, you could place an outbound call. You can place a direct SIP call to a device, but you're probably going to use auto. The auto option will index the call routing table, and you're going to dial that number of the person. Maybe it's a cell phone or something like that. Okay, to an external party. Auto is going to use the call routing table and then try to contact that number. You can call directly to some extension in the office. Here's a list of all your extensions. When you call to that extension, you can specify an auto answer, okay, where it immediately goes off hook and plays the message. You notice there's also an option here for interrupt the active call. Okay, so if they're on an existing call, you can drop the call that they're on and play the emergency announcement. Okay, that's very important. Nice to have that option. You can also go to the audio line out to do like an overhead page, so that can be included. When you call to the extension, if they're not doing auto answer, you specify how long you're going to ring the phone. If you want to put a time limit on it. And then maybe after they pick up the call, maybe you want to delay it by 1 second or 2 seconds, especially like the given, maybe like an overhead paging, you want it to go off hook, answer the call, delay 1 second, and then do the page. So there's your options on where you're going to call to. So I've got 2 extensions included, 100 and 103. All right, you've got a display name, lockdown alert. I got a play count, how many times you're going to play the message. You can wait 2 seconds. And then you could record the message right here from your local extension, or you can upload the message as well. So if I go ahead and dial extension 500,
is an emergency. Please proceed to the nearest safe zone and secure all classrooms now.
Okay.
This is an emergency. Please proceed to the nearest safe zone and secure all
All right,
classrooms.
we'll hang those up. So it went off hook immediately on both of these phones. Those phones are sitting right next to each other. That's why you hear the little bit of echo there. But the so they went off hook, played the message that you have recorded here. Okay, you can also put that extension if needed. You could put that under a maybe a little bit of, you don't want anybody walk into any classroom and be able to dial that. You want people to have access to it, but then again, you don't want false alarms. So you could put it under maybe a pin code access if you want in the call routing table. You can have an entry in the call routing table with a pin number, and that way they would have to have they dial the 500 or whatever digits you want. You can specify any digits, 555 for example, and it would ask you for a pin number. As soon as you enter the pin number, then it would make the broadcast. So that's a judgment call whether or not you want to do that or not. But so that's something that you can create. All right, so that's how you use that dial and announce. All right, we're going to so that's how you can have it for a alert system. So let's also use the dial and announce option for like a bell system. So classroom changes, end of the class, we're going to change. It's going to let you know you're going to have a bell or something that's going to go off in the classrooms to let you know it's the end of period 1, and to get to the next class. All right, so you can also use this dial and announce option for that. Click on dial and announce. I can specify which extensions, overhead paging. This is going to be the class change bell. Play it twice, and I've got an announcement here that I've uploaded, or like a bell system. All right. So now, how do you put a schedule to it, the time, so that you know when these bells are going to be when it's going to be going off? All right. If I go to basic services, there's a dial and announce schedule, DNA schedule here on the left side. There's a tab. So this is an actual schedule where, and this is our one of our local schools. I took a look at the schedule that they have. So it's 7:30 a.m. That's the beginning of period number 1, and then period number 1 ends at 8:18, and then starts at 8:24 to 9:12. So you can have these schedules going throughout the course of the day. And so when this time comes up, it's going to call to this dial and announce schedule. Okay, we can change the system time, and it would I can show that, or I could just dial this extension 400 and it would demonstrate it as well. So if I dial 400 from one of my phones, then okay, so you can hear the message in the background. Okay, and again, that could be it just played twice, played out across the speaker of my phone. Again, that could be to an overhead paging device as well. All right, so you dial 400, and 400 plays the announcements into the devices that you have on this dial and announce list. All right, let's take a look at and we've got this support portal where we can show you just if we log in. If you don't have access to the support portal yet, be sure to register. There's no obligation in doing so, but you should have full access. You're going to need this is where you're going to get your manuals, the software updates, and everything like that. Okay, just a couple things just to point out. In the knowledge base, we do a lot of white papers and documents. So one of these, if we go to support resources, All right, and then system configuration. One of these is the IP phones and IP lines configuration. So let's just take a look at that. There's a couple good documents in here configuring the Epygi supported phones with the QX IP PBXs, and the last one is a real good one as well with the features, just like to highlight that. All right. There's another one, if you look at the system support resources, and then let's see, it's in system configuration, I believe. All right, the system configuration, and then configuring Epygi IP phones and IP lines configuration with gateways. All right, and then let's go to support resources again. Configuring Epygi with other devices. Okay, and with soft phones, with software, and this one configuring with other devices. In here you'll see a lot of white papers, for example, like how to configure the Fanvils, the Helios, the Leviton, a lot of different, we've done these white papers, Mobotics, so you can take a look at those. These will give you ideas along with cost scenarios on how to configure those. All right, so a lot of good information in there. And whenever I'm in a support portal doing a webinar, I always like to highlight, if you search on the word secure, you'll see several documents in here. Make sure that you've take a look at the protecting your Epygi PBX, and so you can make sure you have it secured. The systems are secured by default. You want to make sure you maintain that security. That document is real good. It tells you about a lot of different features you can use, including putting PIN codes in there and give you a little bit better insight onto some features. But security is important, and you want to take a look at that document as well. All right, that concludes the discussion that I have this morning. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up to any questions. Just give me one moment here.